Good morning, puppies. Good morning. We made it out for another round, despite feeling terrible. Excuse me. We will come on to that and how I have coped in a moment or two. Thank you to Ken and to Rafe, who have both got in contact with the channel, telling me how to feel a bit better. Thank you to you both. Good morning, Rafe. How are you? Just thanking you there, without even seeing your message pop up. Yeah, thank you for getting in touch. We're up and live. Let me do my intro. I'll come back to you in a moment, Rafe. You know the drill, right? Let me just get going. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome along to Crighton Pet Services Virtual Dog Walk. I'm Stephen Crighton. You join me and my team of 8 dogs on Wednesday, the 13th of August. It's an important day in Scotland here today because we are free of kids, so to speak. The Scottish schools have all gone back to, the kids have gone back into school as of today. And so for the very most part, we get quite a lot of our space back. We don't have to compete with picnics and kids playing rounders and frisbee and out enjoying the great outdoors, which they should be doing. But it does make life a bit easier for me and the dogs, so we're enjoying that. Unfortunately, speaking about being easier, let me just pan up just now. We're in the shade, and we're likely to be in the shade for the rest of the session. It's going to be a hot one in Edinburgh here again today. The UK as a whole is experiencing a bit of a heat wave. The temperature, the ambient temperature in Edinburgh right now is around 20 degrees. We've walked in 20 degrees for most of the year. For most of the summer, I should say. So from sort of April onwards, it's been that kind of temperature. But this afternoon's to sort of hit 26, 27. That's a bit more difficult for my afternoon team. So we're going to take necessary precautions. We're taking it very slowly, as you can see from Edith's body language here. If she's lying down and cooling her belly off on the cooler ground. And just remember, all their organs are on their tummy, so this is a way for her just to cool herself down a little bit while we wander around. So we'll just let them do that as we go. And there's a few other sort of locations that we've gone into that are just a little bit cooler even than where we are just now, especially sort of grassy parts. We're on one of the paths just now, but the grassier parts that we've been through and we'll go back through later are even cooler than where we are just now, which is great. So these guys, I'm not too worried about them just now. We're only out for an hour. We've already been out for about half of that so far. They're coping not too bad. Their body language is pretty good, and we're getting our steps in. Like we always get asked about, we're picking up after the dogs. They've all had their morning rituals. They're all going about their thing, and we're quite happy with the way that they're getting on with each other, which is great. So we're off to a good start on our session. I see that there's quite a few comments pinging into the chat, the live chat just now. Please feel free to join in. I'm going to come back to these in a second or two. I'll periodically jump into the chat and read through it, but we're just at a point here just now where 2 or 3 paths converge. I'm just going to make sure that there's no hazards up ahead that we need to be too worried about. There's a fantastic sign on this gate here up ahead. I'm going to show you. There's our old pal Mia. There's Mia and Gordon. We'll let them get ahead of us. Just wait there, sweetie. Wait there. There's a fantastic sign up ahead and it says, you okay, bud? Oh, I thought you had something in your tail. You don't. You don't. You're all right. There's a great sign on the fence ahead and it says, dogs must be under control. I want, if they ever take away this fence, this gate, for any reason, I want to get this sign. I would happily like display it in my office or on the van. It's brilliant. I'll show you in 2 seconds. Some brilliant comments coming through just now. Bear with me, I will come back to them. I will promise I'll come back to them in a second. You can maybe see how bright and how dry it is. This grass was bright green a day or two ago. You can still see sort of green patches, but it's all dried out in the last 24 hours. There's the sign. A good motto for us dog walkers. Harris, this way, buddy. Keep coming. Good boy. Good boy. Right, if you're new to the channel, welcome along. My name's Stephen. This is my business. These are my gang. I look after 27 dogs altogether during the week. We've got a combination of 8 of them out just now. And you can maybe tell in my voice, I've got a bit of a croaky voice today. You maybe not be able to tell that if you're just joining for the first time, but I had to take yesterday afternoon off, which is a bizarre thing. I don't think I've taken a day off in my life. I don't think it counts as a day. I still did my morning session. I'll give you a bit of a fun or an interesting fact before we jump into the comments. So my watch just now, I don't know if you can see, it's actually quite hard to tell. The colour system's probably not that great for the camera, but my watch is telling me that my heart rate just now walking along is 110 beats per minute, right? And I'm feeling dreadful. My resting heart rate's somewhere between 40 and 50 normally, because I do about 120,000 steps a week, and we're out in all weathers and we're out in all conditions, and we deal with all manner of terrains and things like that. So I would say from my heart health perspective, it's probably as good as I can imagine it being for a person my age. It's not bad, it's not great. It's probably not too bad. But yesterday, because I was feeling so rotten and so lousy, I took the afternoon off. I went home, went to my bed, lying in my bed, doing nothing for hours on end. My heart rate resting was at 120. So I've been fighting something off. That is fairly significant to my body. I don't know what it has been. If it's the flu, if it's man flu, if it's something more sinister, I don't know. But I've taken lots of things like ginger and turmeric and goodness knows what. And I also did that thing, I don't know if you've heard of this, like you put your face into water and ice. It's called the diver's reflex. And that helped. Because you can maybe, I don't know if you're familiar with the channel, you can maybe hear my nose. It's all bunged up. And that, and it's probably why I'm panting and puffing as well. This diver's reflex thing helped me to clear up all my sinuses and make me actually feel a bit human. So it's quite bizarre. It's very bizarre. But anyway, we managed to just about get ourselves in a position where I can manage the dogs. Edith, don't bother with it. Whatever it is, it's just a little ground bird. Come on. It's not worth it. Not in this heat. So there we go. Right, anyway, a couple of things have happened. We've hit 10 likes, which means the dogs are going to get a little treat in a second or two. But I'll catch up with some of the comments. So Rafe has joined us. Scarlett is saying they're so cute, thank you. Jose is saying it's almost 3 in the morning where Jose is. Siad, you've got a few dogs, don't you? Yeah, we've got 8 out today. There's 27 of them all together that I look after. Original is saying, give me one of them. The Beagle. If anyone wanted any of these dogs, the Beagle is the one you can have. She's the biggest pain. I'm joking, of course. Thank you for rolling in something. Come on, just while we're talking about you. Keep coming. Abe is saying hi. Mittens is saying hi. How are we doing? Good morning. Ian. Your Beagle stole a KFC last night. That's not good. It's not good for the person who owns the KFC, right? Aldo is saying good morning. Samuel, hi. How are we doing? Jim, hi. Apple is saying hi. Vernon is saying hi. Goodness me, Crafty Carcass of Browns. Good morning. Yeah, I didn't want to say that word out loud on the stream in case we got cancelled, Crafty Clark. But yeah, I was thinking it could be that as well. But did you hear my heart rate? My heart rate in bed was 120 beats for like hours and hours and hours. And right now, while I'm walking along, it's only at 115. And it's blistering heat. It is really, really hot. So yeah, so I don't know what was happening yesterday, but my body was fighting something that I couldn't cope with, that's for sure. So fingers crossed, we're on the straight and narrow now. Apple is saying cute beagle. Oh, Ruby gets a lot of attention. She gets a lot of attention because she's the only one on the lead. And she's on the lead because she's a torag. That's a Scottish word for, I don't know what's the best equivalent of that, like rascal, or, you know, like she's a bit impish, something along those lines. Cheeky, maybe would be another way to say it. She just gets slowed down, she closes her ears and off she goes. Off she goes, and that's why she's on the long line. And like right to my left here, we've got, sorry if you've got vertigo, we've got a big drop here. It's quite a steep drop. It wouldn't deter her. If there was like a squirrel or a rabbit or a deer or something, she'd be off. She'd be off. So for the most part, she's lovely and walks so well with the team. But when she gets that scent and she picks it up, it's like, okay, we'll maybe see you later. And I've lost hours and hours and hours on previous walks before we used to go live. And she's kind of used up all our chances. She's used up all our ace card up our sleeve. Charlie boy's had a groom, haven't you, boy? Hello, bud. You okay? I know. I think you're in trouble there, didn't you? I thought you were in trouble. Let's come back to the chat. Nafis, if I'm saying that right, says hi. Palavi, is it? That says hello. Jake the snake, let them free. Yeah, I know. I mean, they are free, to be fair. There's no bears here in Scotland though, Jake, so to disappoint. Certainly not in the animal sense. Oliverio, is that how you say your name? It says hi, good morning. Crafty Clark. Oh no, you don't need to worry. You don't need to worry about saying it in the chat at all. I just don't want to. There's certain words that trigger YouTube's algorithm to kind of change. I'll maybe talk to you about this on a separate platform. But it's quite funny when if we've spoke about different things in the past instead of just the dogs, it has flagged. And you've gone from like 100 people viewing to one person viewing. It's probably Mr. FPI man just watching along. Oh goodness me, guys. Right, okay, so I keep forgetting. Every time we hit 10 likes or multiples of, the dogs get a little biscuit to reward them for their good behaviour and to thank you guys for joining in. So they'd usually get half of one of these, but we've hit 20, so they can get a full one. Ruby. Good girl. There we go. See, there's the Barney. Good boy. Good boy. Thank you, folks. 7 of them have had. Harris will be offered, but he might not take, so don't take offence if you've been specifically waiting for the youngster to get one. Do you want one of these, buddy? No, doesn't bother. He's not bothered. He's not bothered. Don't let their patience and calmness and steadiness fool you. They'd have taken that off of him if they had the chance, but they know that they wouldn't take it from me directly, would they? Eh? Do you know? Haha. Cheeky chops. So there we go. There we go. We're almost at 30 likes again. So we're almost at another feeding phase for the team. Look at where we are. I don't know if I can properly show you the city from here, if the view is as good as what I can see, but the Edinburgh is off in that direction. And we've hit 30 likes. Fantastic. Yeah, Crafty Clark. Harris is not one for really taking food any of the times. He just never really, he's not bothered about food in the house. He's never bothered with any of the food that we've offered him. And when we first start a dog out, we often start with different training treats. We'll use a multiple sort of range of different things, especially if we're teaching recall. So we'll use higher value stuff in the initial sessions, and so things like cheese and things like that dogs go crazy for, and he's just never been bothered, ever. You got something's bitten you though. Sorry about that, old bean. The hazards have been out. So thank you to everyone. Oh, we've hit 30 likes. We'll give the dogs another little train treat up here. Just, there's another dog here. It wouldn't take long, I knew it wouldn't take long before we bumped into another person or dog, but we'll just move over to this side. See you guys. Sweet. Good puppies. Good morning. Now, I saw that coming. Hey, who do you think you are? That's not on. That's not part of our protocols. That's not cool. Well, if you were on yesterday, you maybe saw we passed a woman and she was like, oh my god, you don't need to show off. We did what we did there, we just stopped. I said, oh, just to let you know, you're on YouTube. I don't know, in front of 100 people or something. And she sprinted past the camera. And I've never seen anything like it. People do not want to have their... It's funny, I've spoken about this before as well, like when we've been out and about, I've definitely met people... Excuse me, while I clear my throat. We've bumped into people who, in inverted commas, we know, so we know the dogs. You know, I know like hundreds of dogs by first name, but we don't necessarily know the owners. You see owners and say, morning, just so you know I'm filming. And most of them were fine. For the most part, great. But every now and again, every once in a blue moon, we've bumped into people who are with people they maybe shouldn't be with. Yeah. Being a bit naughty. And I've asked not to be filmed. And then of course you're like, well, if you just walked past, no one would have cared. But now you've made a thing of it. And people are asking about it in the comments and probably clipping it up as we speak, so yeah, it's funny. I could write a book about the things that we've seen out on our walks, and it definitely wouldn't be one suitable for the kids, that's for sure. My goodness, some of the things, right? Are they all with us? I can't see, the sun's right in my eyes. You guys let me know. You got the full squad? I think so. Gabrielle says hi. Thanks, Crafty Clark. We'll catch up with you soon. Hope we've got a good start to your day. We'll see you soon. If you're dropping off. Little reminder to anyone who's watching along, if you're new here, we go live every day around about the same time. I like to show the owners of these dogs just where we go, how we get on, how they're being treated. There's nothing that's hidden from the owners, and as a result it's a good way to share my passion with the rest of the world. So if you're enjoying what you see, you can subscribe to the channel at obviously no cost. It doesn't cost you anything. It's somewhere up here. You get the chance to click on that subscribe button, I think. And each weekday we go live around about the same time. If you can, channel for you to enjoy little short videos and a few more long content videos. There's some training videos as well. There's quite a lot of funny little ones. There's a good funny one of Juno that's been getting a lot of traction recently. It's had about 25,000 views, and it's called Will Border Terrier React? And she's in a very precarious situation, aren't you, Sweetie? I know, my girl, you're in such a tough situation. It must be tearing you alive. It must be eating you up. So you need to go and check that out. It's brilliant. It's only 10 seconds long, but you'll get the idea of why it'll be tearing her alive when you watch it. Bless her. Keep coming, team. Come on. It's nice. They've got a lot of freedom today. With the kids back, the footfall in the area's dropped to 5% of what it would normally be on like this time last week, on a day like this. So we've had the place to ourselves, and that's great. Andrew, you must be doing something right, sir. You keep popping up for me every day. The algorithm seems to like you. Ah, that's what a nice thing to read. Thank you. I think that's a compliment, isn't it? I think you meant it as a compliment. I'm taking it as one. I'm taking it as one. Kylie says hi. How are we doing? Good morning. Ruby, we're going this way, sweetie. Come on. Come on, old girl. And I think it's almost time to get these guys back to the van for a little sip of water, I think. I might just I've got these kind of like 5 litre water bottles. I think there's 2 or 3 of them full at the moment in the van. Kind of fill them up every couple of days, and then the dogs drink away at them as the week goes on. But one of them just might be getting poured over me. And then these guys will probably no doubt just lick it off me. Knowing them. Hey, trouble. No. In sunny Lanarkshire. We're central Edinburgh again today. I don't know if you would have saw on the news, Andrew, Arthur's Seat caught fire a couple of days ago, and it also caught fire again yesterday. So that was the mountain or hill that I've just pointed at in the off in the distance there, folks. And it is, I was going to say it is an extinct volcano. So there was quite a lot of memes going around saying, oh, the volcano's reactivated, or whatever the word is for that happening, came back to life. So we're the internet is like just such a place. Like I consider myself having a good sense of humour, and when I see these things and people are being super creative with things that have literally just hit the headlines of the news, and people are instantly on it with jokes, you know that clever people, right? You have to be smart to be funny, I think. Don't you guys? I know. That's why you guys are all so funny. Very clever doggies. I know. Yeah, so it started up again yesterday, Andrew. It relit, or started, you know, because I think when it's all this kind of stuff, that's the stuff that we're walking in just now, that's on Arthur Sea. And I think when all the stuff above ground burns, it goes underground into the roots. Excuse me. And it can be like that for days and days and days on end. I'm sure anyone from the fire brigade, fire department might be able to tell us better, but once it's got all through all the surface stuff, the stuff underneath can keep going for a long time. I think that's what's happened. It was another hot day, so it's probably not taking much for it to kind of recatch, you know. Edith! This way, sweetie. Good pups. Good pups. Good boy, Harris. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, they'd usually do a heather burn. They do the heather burns here all the time. Well, it's actually, I'm going to, not to be that guy, but I'm going to correct you, it's gorse. It's gorse that they burn, as opposed to the heather. I think there's not as much heather on Arthur Sea as there is gorse. And gorse is this stuff. It's like barbed wire. And when it dries out, it really dries out, and it's perfect kindling. So there may also be heather, don't get me wrong, but I know that there's a lot of gorse. It's really difficult to manage apart from basically just burning it. So they do that on controlled times of the year. But this wasn't that. This was, there's reports now that people, it's been, I don't know if it's been deliberately caused, but they're saying it's been caused by people. So probably someone having a disposable barbecue. There's a video I saw this time, at the beginning of summer holidays, just as it started to get warm. And someone had a disposable barbecue on the passenger seat of their car. I mean, what chances the world got if that's what people are doing? And like they were driving like along the motorway or something like that, you know. They were going to a lot of damage if and when it all went wrong. It did go wrong. They managed to get off the road. But their front seat and the inside of the car was just basically completely destroyed. So yeah, crazy. So the bottom of those disposable barbecues get really hot, easily enough to start a fire. It's probably that. On the passenger, I'm not joking. I'm not joking, on the passenger seat. Driving along, filming it, for one. Being like, yeah, summer's on, you know, got the tunes on, whatever, get the barbecue on. And then boom. The car's like a complete blackout because of the smoke. The front seat's basically gone. Anyway, there we go. We're digressing from the dogs a little bit, aren't we? Jake, hello, good morning. Jake, the dogs are loving life, but we're hot today. We're taking it nice and easy. We're in the shade and in amongst the bushes. It's a lot cooler here than it is in the open space that we're about to come out into. It's cooler by a good 10 degrees or so. So the dogs are coping, but not necessarily thriving. We've just kind of plodding along. We've not had any play. They've not had any, we've had opportunity to do it, but we've not had any sprints or wrestling or any of the stuff we might normally get on the channel. I feel for them. Over the whole summer it's been really unseasonably warm. Like last year we had such a wet summer in the UK, and they were the life and soul. They far prefer the wetter conditions and the cooler conditions to the hotter conditions. And so on some of the days that we've had rain and cool conditions, they've just burst back into life. It's almost been like they've been coiled springs, because they've not like been able to express themselves for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. And now all of a sudden, it was cool for a while. Just going to move this branch that way. That can grow that way instead of across the path. Yeah, so it has been cooler for a few weeks, maybe a week or so, and then all of a sudden the heats came back and it zapped their energy once again. It does make my life a little bit easier, I've got to say. They're quite content, they're quite happy just plodding along, single file, doing their thing. Each of them sniffing and peeing over the top of every bit of grass that the other one's done. We're about to come out into some open space and you'll see there, well, you won't see at all. I was going to say you'll see the difference, but I'll try my best to describe the difference to you. It's I can already feel the sun belting onto my head, and it's a lot warmer. A bit breezy though, which is nice. Here we go. Gooood says hi. Ramona. Am I married? How personal. Tisk tisk tisk. That's not to do with the dogs. We get a little cuddle with the team before we sign off. Let's get. I owe the dogs some food, courtesy of your likes. We'll give them that just now. Edith. Harris, don't go too far, buddy. Good boys. Good girl. Biscuit, what's this? Good boy, Barney. Hey. There's rubies. Good boy. Good boy. Harris! We seem to be one dog down. Thank you for all the interactions today. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in. Jake, what a lovely squad. They are quality. And you can see more of them if you subscribe to the channel. We'll be live again round about the same time tomorrow. I need to get them all in the lead and get them wrapped up now. But from me and the squad, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll be back in again on Thursday. Hopefully it's just as nice. Hopefully the dogs cope just as well. They're having a little rest, a well-earned rest after the little biscuit. So from me and the team, we're going to sign off. Take care. Have a wonderful Wednesday. All the best. Bye-bye now.